Hello dear students, I continue now with the robustness of the strategies when we are using strategy builders. The problem with MetaTrader is that you can test the robustness of a strategy after you have it, okay? After you have bought the expert advisor, after you have paid to the developer to do it, or after you have spent a couple of weeks to code it by yourself, and just then you can do the backtest and to check the robustness as I showed in the previous lecture. Now when we have strategy builder, we test the robustness before we have the expert advisor, just when we have the strategy, the idea of the strategy, and we can see if it is worth to do it as an expert advisor. And actually with the strategy builders, it is very easy to have it as an expert advisor because we don't need to have any programming skills or any trading experience. Even with one click we can export it as an expert advisor, and I will show you how to do that. Alright, now when we are having strategy builders, we have different robustness tools that we will use, and in this course I will show you three of them: the walk forward validation, the Monte Carlo tool, and the multi-markets. These three are different tools to validate your strategies and to check if they are over optimized or not. Now on our website we have two strategy builders. One is EA Studio or Expert Advisor Studio, the other one is Forex Strategy Builder. Now Forex Strategy Builder needs to be installed on the computer. It's a little bit heavier program, takes a little bit longer time to get used with it. I can say these two are just different softwares. I get the question all the time, what is the difference between these two? They simply create different expert advisors and they have some different features inside, but the idea is one and the same. With both we are building strategies, expert advisors. We export the strategies as expert advisors with one click, so no programming skills are needed, or even no really trading experience is needed. You can generate strategies based on the historical data, which I will show you how to place in the strategy builder. Now, Expert Advisor Studio comes with 15 days free trial, which you can use, and during this time you can export or generate as many expert advisors as you wish. There are no limitations here. I will click on login just to use it, and I will just demonstrate to you how I will use this strategy builder to test the robustness for the strategies. So if I click on strategy, you can see that I have the possibility to put entry conditions and to put exit conditions. So if you have a manual strategy that you're trading and you want to use it with expert advisor, you can build your strategy here. Now I will demonstrate it to you very quickly. Let me take randomly some indicators. For example, I will select, what is it? I have many indicators here, but let's pick some randomly. Money flow index, for example. There are different conditions. Money flow index rises, falls, is higher than the level line, is lower than the level line. Let's take money flow index falls. And I will click on accept, and you will see that immediately I have a dramatic loss. So basically here is the backtest, okay, for this period that we have from October 2017 till today, 5th of March 2019. Okay, so whatever indicator I place or add to the strategy, I will see immediately the backtest result or the balance chart. Now let me place some exit condition as well. I will take, for example, here some of the indicators that I like the most. I will take the envelopes, and here is the rule. We have the bar opens above upper band, the bar opens below lower band, the bar opens below upper band after opening above it. Let's click on some of it randomly. I will click on accept, and actually here you see I have a profitable strategy. I took these indicators really randomly, just from my experience that I know which indicators are good entry and exit condition. I didn't place even a stop loss and a take profit, and you can see this strategy is on profit. Even there was a huge drawdown, still this strategy is on profit. And now what is the thing here, guys, that whatever change I make in the indicators, I will see the effect immediately on the balance chart. So let me, for example, change the rule. The bar opens above upper band and I will click on accept. And here I have a much better strategy. Even recently losing, you can see the equity line is much smoother, but for the recent period it's losing. Okay, and let me change some of the periods. So for example, from 14 I will go up to 15 and I will click on accept, and you see there is a small change. And I will go up to 20 and I will click on accept, and you see it's getting actually worse. Alright, now I can add as well stop loss and take profit. For example, let's add stop loss of 50 pips and take profit of 100 pips, and I click on accept, and you see there was a small change. So this thing really saves us time. If you have manual strategy, you really don't need to test it long time on a demo account. What you can do is simply to build your strategy here and see what was the performance for the last months, for the last 1 year, or even more if you load more historical data. And now talking about data, I will show you how to place the data over here. I click on data and you see here is a drop zone. Drop files here or click to upload. So let me get the files. I go to file, open data folder, go to MQL4, and here are the files. This is the historical data that I have exported earlier. Okay, what I will do, I will drop it in this window right over here. I will just drag it and drop it, and you see the data is imported and uploaded. Now, whatever broker you see on my trading courses, guys, please don't take it as a recommendation. We are not connected to any of the brokers, but of course I have to choose one to record the courses, and I'm always looking for the regulated brokers. I dedicated many lectures in my courses how to choose the broker and basically how to avoid the scam brokers, because this is the most important thing nowadays, since there are really many scam brokers around. You can read more about it in our forum, it's free. There is a such topic called how to recognize the scam brokers, which will help you to identify them. Alright, now going back to the strategy, we said that here we can build a strategy and immediately we can see the balance chart or the back test. Okay, we have report where we see detailed statistics about the strategy, the backtest output such as balance line stability, maximum drawdown, months on profit, net balance. And actually let's get back to this better strategy that I took randomly. It was actually using the envelopes, the bar opens above the upper band, and I will remove the stop loss and the take profit. No, still I did a change. What was it? It was 14, I think. I will click on accept. Yeah, okay, so this is the little bit better strategy that I got here. So in the report you can see that you have some statistics such as count of entries by weekdays, profit and loss in currency by weekdays. Here you have it by hour, entry and exit hour. We have count of entries, profits and losses by entry hour, and monthly performance is below, which is very interesting as well. Now we have the journal, same as with MetaTrader, where we can see all the trades that were opened and closed. And actually from here, if I go to strategy one more time and I just uploaded the historical data, if you upload your historical data you will see it somewhere over here. So this is the one that I uploaded. You can see very small difference right in my balance chart. Now if you upload historical data from the different brokers and you see huge difference when you change the server, this means simply that the brokers provide different quotes, okay, different prices, which forms different historical data, but the strategy is the same. Okay, on the left side we have the indicator chart, which is something very interesting to me. Here we have where the trade was opened, where it was closed. So if we have the green line, this is the long trade. If we have the red line, this is the short trade. So you see here we have a buy position until here, then here we have the entry condition for short, and then here we have it for long. You can see when the price touches these envelopes. Actually, to be precise, we said the bar opens above upper band. This is exit condition for the long trade. Okay, so when we have a long trade and a bar opens above the upper band, it closes the trade, right? And our entry condition is with the money flow index. In this case, we said money flow index false. Alright guys, so this is how you can build a strategy over here, and the best thing with the strategy builder that I always say is that with one click we can export this strategy as an expert advisor. You can see if I open it, you will have the code for the expert advisor ready without mistakes, and you can compile it. Alright, so we have the expert advisor ready to use, and if you want to do it for MetaTrader 5, you can export it as well for MetaTrader 5. Alright, so let's make a quick check with the MetaTrader. I will copy that, I will minimize it, and I will paste the expert advisor. So I go to open data folder and I go to MQL4 experts, and here I will paste it. So this is the one with 343 ending magic number. I will open it. Okay, let me compile it first. I click on compile. You can see there are 0 errors, 0 warnings, which means that the code is just fine. And now I will see it right over here. If I click on refresh, it is this one right here. Okay, now I am on dollar Canadian. I will drag the expert advisor over the chart. I will click on OK, and let me backtest it. I will go to expert advisor's strategy tester, open prices. We have the date for the last 1 year, M15 current spread, and I click on start, and let's see what is the result. Over here it's 11,137. The graph, you can see it's the very same graph, recently losing in this zone. The very same thing what we had here, but here it's just in a small window, while in MetaTrader it's quite bigger. And if you compare the results with the open and closed trades, you will see that these are the very same trades that were open and closed. Could be a small difference because of the spread, because here I entered current spread, and when we exported the historical data I used 10 points because I rounded it to the higher number. But anyway guys, this is the way that you can check if the expert advisors created with the strategy builder are real, are showing the very same backtest what we have in MetaTrader, and this way you can see if a strategy builder is actually reliable or not. Of course, I have tested that many times, and there are thousands of traders who use these strategy builders, so it's tested, all bugs are fixed a long time ago, and actually it works really nice. Now what we have here more with the strategy builder, we have the generator. The generator is the smart thing, or I can say the intelligence that stands behind this strategy builder, because with the generator, over the historical data that we use, that we imported from our broker, we select the symbol, the period, and we can select what range to have for our stop loss for take profit, if we want to use it or not, if we want to use trailing stop loss or not. And we have some generator settings, and when we click on start, I will just click on start randomly without making any setup here. You can see that there are strategies generated. Okay, you can see what is the speed of the strategy builder. It calculates really fast the strategies, and all of the strategies calculated, you will see them in the collection. So even you don't have any strategies profitable, you can generate your strategies over here, and these are the very same realistic strategies. If I click on any of those, you will see the entry and exit conditions, the balance chart, the indicator chart, and everything else. So this way, with the generator, we can create our own expert advisors. You can see this strategy has really nice profit line, okay, balance line. We have the force index, average true range for entry conditions, average true range for exit condition, and we have stop loss and take profit with this strategy. Okay, so this is how you can generate strategies. Of course, you need to set up some limitations, because you can see it calculated thousands of strategies and we have hundreds of strategies into the collection. Actually, in the collection we see the best 100 strategies, but here in the generator settings where we set the working minutes, so for example you can run it for 10 hours like I normally do. Before I go to sleep I run it, and then in the morning I have already strategies to work on, and then I download them, I download the complete collection and I run it again for another 10 hours. So this way I make it work all the time for me. Let me stop it. So here in the generator settings we have this common acceptance criteria. So here we place limitations, okay? We place criteria for these strategies. So we don't want to see hundreds of strategies that are just randomly generated. We want to see strategies that perform well, that have a good profit factor, R squared, or they don't have a huge stagnation. We want to see many count of trades, because this is very important. The more trades we have, the more robust strategy it will be, because we don't want to base our trading on strategies that were showing backtest only with 100 count of trades, for example, or 200. We want to see at least 300, 350. If it is more, of course it's better, because imagine we have a strategy that performed in the past, and when we have more count of trades, it means that this strategy was executed more times in the past, okay? So if it was executed only 100 times, obviously the chance to fail in the future is bigger, because it was tested, we can say, just 100 times. Even tested is not the right word, or we can say the strategy was executed only 100 times. And if it was executed like 400 times, 500, even 700 times, obviously this will give us a sign that probably this strategy will continue working profitably in the future. And what else we have are these robustness tools that are called Walk Forward, Monte Carlo, Multi-Market. Okay, these are different robustness tools that I will cover in the next lectures, and I will show you how I'm using them in order to filter the strategies and to test the strategies even before I am exporting them as expert advisor. Okay, I'm testing them over here, and if I see that they perform well with these criteria, just then I will give them a try trading. All right, thank you guys for watching the lecture, and I will continue with the next one. Cheers.